All right. What's this? What? Everyone streaming. Famous full streams. First City. VTubers. Now live. Bring. Pop out chat? What did I stumble on along, may I ask? Me doing some streams about how to VTube and how to VTube properly, all the different things about VTubing, all that fun stuff. That's what you stumbled upon. Also, hello, wait, right? How you doing? What did you stumble upon? What do you think you stumbled upon? Man floating around a green screen? Possibly. I could be floating around in a green screen. That is definitely possible. Why a green screen? Why not a blue screen? Blue screens are just as popular. Make that into it. Not floating around a green screen, but something else I just thought of. Oh, are you teaching anything? Yeah. So today's topic, if people show up, who knows? I don't stream here that often anymore. It's quite possible. It honestly, it's just truthfully how to stream, how to be a VTuber, all that fun stuff. Things I've experienced, was taught others over 4 or 5 years. So yeah. What are you interested in learning? What are some of your questions? Something you're curious about? I don't want to learn. I'm on summer break. All I want is to go to the gym. Okay. Hey, Geekish Senpai, how you doing? Long time no see. Been waiting for this for like a week. However long the schedule for Friday's been up for a little bit. Hello, Angelos. How you doing? Glad to see you guys. Has it been up a week? I don't know. Maybe. I'm doing pretty good. I'm kind of sleepy. No, it's going to be the whole thing. Not just on the Ludwig thing. Ludwig is just literally clickbait. But truthfully, a lot of the things Ludwig said, it pretty much applies. But what I'm going to do is more of a 6-part course. So we're going to start from the very beginning. And then as more streams happen, it's basically 6 streams. And the further we go down the streams, the more complicated the topics are going to be. So we're going to really just start from the beginning on this one. I think it's the heat. It's really, really, really hot where I am. I don't know if it's hot where you guys are, but it is definitely hot for me. My apartment alone is, I think the thermostat said, yeah, so it's 31 degrees in my apartment right now with the AC blasting. So it's still quite warm. Very warm. So I too took a nap before the stream. I'm feeling a little groggy, but Lewis is cold. That's good. For us, it gets up to 100 during the summer. Oof. It's been hot here. The last 2 weeks have been cooler. Lucky. Lewishofen is in bread. What is Lewishofen? I have to drink. I better go grab my notebook. 1 second. I did take notes. Looks like I'm taking a nap. Yeah, I better have my notes out. Come on, Kindle, wake up. Best thing about it is I was taking notes at work. Not good. Hopefully no one at work ever watches. Ah, okay, okay. Ugh. This stands up. Or doesn't. But by itself? Bit by itself? Yeah, sort of. Okay. It somewhat works. So we'll wait another 2 minutes and then we'll start the stream. Our 3D printer recently messed up due to the heat. The filament got too hot and melted and stuck in the tube. Ooh. That's not good. That's really not good. I can honestly say I've never really experienced that particular issue on my personal 3D printers. On my work 3D printer, we definitely experienced that. 07. Okay. I think that's long enough. I think we can just start now. Why not? Alrighty. Screen. Beautiful. We'll pause the music so I don't get distracted. Welcome to the first and very, very, well, not really the first. This has been probably the 100th time we've talked about these different things over the years. But the VTubing Academy 101. Today's topic is going to be starting. Anybody watching this VOD, all that fun stuff, has probably heard me say this again a million times. This is going to be a 6-part series. So we're going to go from very easy, basic start to more complicated down the road. So more and more sessions that we do, classes we do, streams we do, the more and more in depth we're going to get with different things. Today is literally just the starting phase. I've been asked this question in the past on the YouTube comments. What makes me an authority figure on this particular topic? Why should people listen to me? And well, truthfully, you shouldn't always listen 100% to one source. You should always listen to multiple sources. But let's talk about credentials. What are Senpai's creds? What makes me an authority on this particular topic? Well, I'm glad you asked, little Timmy. Again, you can go through the YouTube comments and see that I've helped thousands of people over the years on YouTube and even on Twitch. Does chat appear? Chat may not appear, mostly because I might use this for YouTube later. So I've helped thousands of people in YouTube comments alone. I've helped hundreds get to YouTube, or not YouTube, sorry, Twitch affiliate. We helped a great many, I don't know how many, great many, get to the YouTube partner program, right? By giving tips and tricks and advice on how to get there. I've helped dozens upon dozens of people get to Twitch's partner program. I've been featured in HEC Vive. And they referred to my lessons and teachings on their website. Not only that, I've been featured in the Washington Post. They've used my videos and whatnot in their videos about Iron Mouse. All these different things are also linked in my bio in the Discord. So if you guys are interested, join the Discord and you'll see it there. I've been shouted out by members, not just one, but several. I do have a link to one member from Niji Sanji about how I was helpful and my advice helped them quite a bit. Not only that, my last and more important thing, important to me, not really important to anyone else, is the positive feedback I have had one-on-one with endless amount of members. So I've personally have helped a great many one-on-one. All the courses, for the most part, well, I want to say like 99% of what I've done has been for free. The only time I've ever charged was for the Niji Sanji stuff, and I think that was maybe $2 or $3 to look at everybody's applications or auditions. So, and again, half of those were more than likely free because, again, I don't want a pay barrier for people. And this course will never have a pay barrier applied to it from me, where other people and other streamers and VTubers and so on and so forth may. I always believe that knowledge should be free and accessible no matter where you are in life. So this is me making it accessible. So these are my different credentials. Again, you can go to the Discord, click on the About Me, and you'll see links and all that fun stuff of these things backing up what I'm saying. And again, you can go through the YouTube comments, so on and so forth, to see all the positive feedback from those people, again, proving what I am saying. So let's start with the starting section. And what I want to do, again, is we're going to go into the very basic thing. Before we even start, I do believe we need to start with picking a platform. Now, a lot of people will have opinions on the platform that they will stream on. There is a lot of people with very strong opinions against Twitch, against Kick, against Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everybody that has a heartbeat will have an opinion on what platform is the best and what platform isn't. So that being said, picking a platform for you to start on is really based on personal preference. Certain content will work on better, or certain content will work on some platforms better than others. It is more of a experimentation to see where your content fits the best. Personally, for me, and I know for others, YouTube works out the best for educational content, where Twitch works out really good for others for their versions of educational content, whether that be art or what have you. Picking a platform wise, I will always suggest, if you are someone that is going to be doing exclusively streaming in the beginning, you can start off really on Twitch or YouTube. I'm always going to lean towards the YouTube route, mostly because if you go to Twitch, let's load up or Twitch on my Firefox that is apparently never updated. Here we go. So we go to Twitch. We go to any category. Not any category. What am I doing? I browse. There we go. Sorry. We go to just chatting, for example, and we scroll down, and we're going to notice that there is thousands upon thousands. And this is in the recommended for you, but we can change it from high to low. And we can see that this category it only had the one option for high to low, and then recommended. You're going to be scrolling a long time to find people. And this could be said for a great many categories that is existing on Twitch. So there is a lot of competition. We'll go Rainbow Six Siege, for example, here. The maximum viewership is 2K, but you can get down to the bottom a lot quicker. But a lot of the times, a lot of people on Twitch don't go past the first 3 or 4 rows unless they're specifically looking for smaller streamers, which isn't always a thing that does happen. So that being said, I do recommend people to go to YouTube and browse on there, because YouTube, the nice thing about it is if you go to the gaming section of YouTube, you go to Valorant, for example, there isn't that much competition. And not only that, as you can see, we go 1, 2, 3, 4. We got people with lower PCV, concurrent viewers, mixed into the higher concurrent viewership streamers. So there is a lot more benefits where you got a better chance of being seen, but it does take a little bit more work because you got to have thumbnails and so on and so forth. But it is actually a good practice to have. So whether you choose Twitch or YouTube, that's entirely up to you. I definitely suggest that you go to the YouTube route. The nice thing about YouTube is you can turn your VODs or your live streams into VODs almost instantaneously, and that can be and greatly beneficial. So once you pick your platform of your choice, and again, people are going to have opinions for one or the other. At the end of the day, there isn't one right answer. The right answer is the one that you yourself is comfortable with. But once you pick your platform, the next thing you should do, a lot of people are going to say that it should be going live, is not actually going live, but picking your name. Your name. You want to make sure. Actually, I should do that. Picking your name. You should really choose a name that is short, easy to remember, if possible, and most importantly, easy to spell. I've seen many streamers and VTubers have really weird spelling of their name, especially when they first start out. And it is hard to locate them in the future because you may have scrolled by, saw them, but you don't really remember what the name was. So you're trying to spell it out, especially on Twitch. Um, so when you're coming up with something, think of it as a customer, as an audience member that happened to scroll by, that refreshed the screen, and you were gone, and they couldn't hit follow or subscribe, or for some reason you stood out for them. Or maybe they saw your YouTube video and they didn't hit the subscribe button, but they wanted to go back and rewatch that video, right? Having something easy to remember can be beneficial, and don't overdo it on the spelling. So about that. What I would suggest you do is join my Discord, for example. Ask people their opinion in the Discord, including myself, on what they think about your name. Or even better, ask your family and friends. Family and friends, especially family, your mother, your father, your dog, or your goldfish Klaus, will probably give you more of a honest answer than random people on the internet. So throw it by them. If you guys don't have parents, ask your foster parents. If you guys don't have foster parents, ask whoever you're with. But I would try to rely on family first and foremost, then ask others in my Discord or whatever what they think. But family will definitely give you the honest opinion at all times. So pick a name, short, easy to remember, and easy to spell. The next thing you want to do with that easy name, and this is the controversial thing that I don't think is controversial. I think that everybody should be doing it. Is going to every platform, literally every platform, and registering. Register. You want to lock down that username on all platforms, if possible. Now, I've had this in the past where I've had viewers and people in the Discord tell me, well, Senpai, I never plan on streaming on Kick. That's totally fine. Your opinion may change later. For example, if Twitch shuts down tomorrow, well, you don't really have any other option other than Kick or YouTube. So it's best to secure these names, these usernames, all on these different websites, just in case. The worst thing that could happen, and I can honestly say it's happened to others, where your username is taken, for example, on a different streaming platform, that person gets decently popular, they outgrow you, and now they want the name secured for them. So registration isn't that hard to do. Make a dedicated email address. And register. Oh, what do I mean about dedicated email address? I'm glad you asked, little Timmy. Dedicated email address. This is what I did. VTuber Senpai, YT@gmail.com. Why did I do that? Because VTuberSenpai@gmail.com was already taken. So I tossed in the YouTube, and then boom. And every platform that I could think of, that I could find, I've registered it under this email. So all the emails are funneled into the one spot. And not only that, any website that I register, for example, my Twitter account goes to this. My Facebook account goes to this. My Instagram account goes to this. So on and so on and so forth. It all funnels into the one business email. And this email is going to be your well, not this particular email, but the email that you create or you generate is going to be that email that you're going to stick with for your content creation. This is where sponsors are going to reach out to you. This is where companies that want you to test their XYZ thing for reviews is going to reach out to you. If there's a DMCA copyright claim, anything like that, this is going to be funneled into that one spot. So realistically, you guys want to have that dedicated email. Plus, we want to make sure we register and lock down that dedicated username on all the platforms as possible. That is extremely, extremely important. Again, even if you think you're not going to use it, hear it. You just never know what life is going to throw at you. And regret is a powerful thing. Don't regret it in the future. So we picked our platform, we picked our name, we registered for every platform known to man. And I will apologize once again. I know chat isn't showing up on this particular stream. Again, I'm probably more than likely going to reuse this video for my long form content, my evergreen content on YouTube and other websites. So a lot of people right now, okay, I've registered, I've done this, I've done that. Typically, one of two things usually happens right after, or actually, to be honest, even before they even get their name or they pick a platform. But this is the step you should probably. Truthfully, I think you guys should at some point go live. Now you guys are going to say, "Oh, Senpai, why am I going to go live without a VTubing model?" Again, I'm glad you asked, little Timmy. You want to go live without a face, faceless, so no webcam, no nothing like that. Just go straight up and test things out. Without a webcam, and your computer handle streaming video games at the settings that you want to stream them at, right? This will allow you to fine-tune your PC. And truthfully, when you guys are first starting out and going live, there's no one watching you. There's no one tuning in. This is a moment for you to see, okay, I gone live, there's 0 viewers, there's no one watching me. One, do I like this? And this is the more important question that you got to ask yourself. Do I like this? Everybody can stream, but not everybody can stream. I know it's a little bit weird. Anybody can hit the go live button, but not everybody can come back the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time after hitting the go live button and streaming to no one. So give it a try for 2, 3, 4 times for 2 to 4 hours per time. And again, we're testing out your PC, right? Seeing if you like it. And there's the, no expectation of anybody really watching it. So you can really let loose, be yourself, and just have fun with it, which is, really, really good. But this is literally the testing phase of it. So go live and things. And then Lewis kind of brought up, now, would you go live with a bad mic? I would go live with a bad mic. The reason why I would go live with a bad mic, settings, so on and forth, is because you're going to re-watch your stream. And this is part of the fine-tuning, the testing. Because there is nothing worse than investing hundreds or even thousands of dollars into a VTubing model when your basic setups kind of suck. So when you're done going live, each time, re-watch your stream. Can you handle it? Are you sticking around? Are you bored? Listen to how you're talking. What are you talking about, right? This is where you're going to be screaming into the void. This is where you're going to learn the skill on how to talk to yourself. And I've referenced this many, many, many times in the past, where when you are starting out as streamer, you're talking to yourself because you got no one to talk to. And then when you do finally get your audience or your first members or so on and so forth, okay, now you got someone to talk with. But later on, especially if you blow up enough, chat is flying by so fast, you're basically talking to yourself again. Ask me how I know that, right? We gotten to that point a great many times when we were blowing up with the Niji Sanji audition stuff, right? So it's a skill that you are going to eventually use over and over and over again. So take this time and build those basic skills, but more importantly, make sure that your voice sounds good. Make sure that your game is playing smoothly. Make sure the settings that you have for gaming is working. If you are using a hand cam, is the colors right? You have enough lighting, so on and so forth, right? Depending on if you're going to be a cooking streamer, an unboxing streamer, so on and so forth. Check those different things. Check if these different devices work. And are the things that you have efficient enough for the streaming? And if not, okay, now you could plan, okay, I got to upgrade my graphics card. I got to add more RAM. I got to add a new light. I got to get a new key light or a ring light or whatever, right? This is the nice thing that you can do. Headset first, table mic all the way. If you're going to be someone that's going to stream. So now that you've gone live, you did, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 streams. You did your 2 to 4 hours of testing. You've now seen your PC can handle it, and you are now confident. Okay, this is something I want to go into. I'm going to really slow you down a little bit more. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now this is where we choose our VTubing model. No, I'm sorry, little Timmy. At this stage, we're still not at the VTubing model stage. We're actually just another step away from it. But this is the important thing. Budget. You need to have a realistic budget. Now, when I first started out, I gave myself a budget of about $100, 100 Canadian dollars. 100 Canadian dollars is basically $2 in America, USA. No, it's not that bad, but it does feel like it from time to time. But a realistic budget of what you can afford. What do I mean by afford? I'm glad you asked, little Katie. Afford is without going into debt. Afford means money you will not miss. Okay? You should not have to go into credit card debt for your first model or setup or anything like that. A little bit of debt here and there, okay, sure. But I've literally seen VTubers that just started out complain on Twitter, especially 3-4 years ago when VTubing really took off in popularity, mentioning that they maxed out their credit card, that they were 6, 8, 10K into debt, and they don't even like VTubing. Like, that is absolute insanity. So I want you guys to really just have a sit down with yourself, write out your finances, and be like, okay, this is what I can realistically afford for a microphone, for my VTubing model, for upgrades for my PC, a desk, a mouse, a keyboard, so on and so forth, right? This budget is going to cover everything. This is your everything budget. And I was very fortunate enough to have a well-paying job when I first started out, well-paying for the time at least. And I was able to, okay, Senpai, well, I wasn't Senpai then. I was Anubis Lives then. Anubis, spent $100 on a person making a V2 model on Fiverr, right? And truthfully, when I first started out, it was more of a joke and kind of a funny thing. Ha ha, hee hee. Oh, the chat is there. It's actually covered by the banner. Oops. But it was a ha he he thing. I didn't really care about it. I had a very adult themed sweater, and I just started making my first tutorial, did my first streams on Rainbow Six Siege, and yeah, it wasn't something I took super seriously, but it was it was a start, right? It was a start. But that $100, boom, get your model. It doesn't have to be on Fiverr. There is lots of free models out there, so on and so forth. We'll get to that in a second. But be realistic for yourself. If you can afford $400, okay, great. If you can spend $500 and not miss it, great. If you can spend $1,000 and not miss it, that's great. If you got to ask yourself, okay, if I buy XYZ, can I still afford to eat? You can't afford it. If I spend XYZ and I'm going to be tight on rent, you can't afford it. If I spend XYZ amount of money on this and I can't, I got to do without for something, less gas in the tank or less meals at work or going out with friends less or whatever, chances are you can't afford it. Lower your budget just a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic for yourself. But this number here should be able to reflect what you can actually afford and not miss. Okay. Perfect. I'm glad we had that discussion. Let's move down to VTubing model. Now, this is where you're going to pick. If you're going to be a PNG tuber, a 2D, a 3D, or whatever VTubing model happens to come out while you're watching this video, because God knows this video I'm hoping will last a great many years, and technology is advancing all very, very rapidly. So we don't know what we're going to have in 2 years from now, but chances are there will be something. But when you're first starting out, okay, and this is going to be the other controversial thing, because I know people on Twitter disagree heavily when I say these things. Your first model should be as cheap as possible. Okay? Doesn't have to match your theme. It doesn't need to look great. My first model looked like garbage compared to a lot of different people that already existed. But it does need to be as cheap as possible. Why are you telling me this, Senpai? Again, I'm glad you asked, little Kelly. The one big regret I see, again, from many people on the Twitter sphere, in the comments, so on and so forth, is they, again, spent a lot of money on these avatars, but didn't end up like VTubing. I've seen popular streamers get a VTubing avatar when VTubing was starting to blow up, try it, didn't like it, and then stopped. I've seen a lot of VTubers spend thousands on a model, tried it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, didn't like it, stopped, and now those models are literally collecting that, well, not literally, figuratively, collecting dust in a folder somewhere on their computer, somewhere in their archives. So what you really need to do is go as cheap as possible. I want to say 90% of you should probably start with a PNG tuber. Okay. It's very basic, requires very low resources. When you get to 2D and especially 3D, they will consume a lot more resources as you play video games or whatever. PNG is very, very light on the PC, especially if you use VideoTube Mini, which is a reactive. It's maybe 1% on vast majority of CPUs, 5% if your CPU is middle grade, and maybe 10% if your CPU is very, 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 very poor. Again, mileage will vary depending from computer to computer, but start crazy cheap. Okay, free if possible. There is tons of free models out there. I used to have free models in my Discord, for the longest time. I don't know if they're still there. If they are still there, we're going to delete them because they are horrid and they cause nothing but problems. But seriously, go out, look for a free model, free if possible. There's adopted models that you can adopt and then give up later. There is, again, just endless options for super cheap. Your first model should not be $1,000. It shouldn't be. Especially if you have zero experience in streaming. If you are someone that is an experienced streamer and you've been streaming for a while and you know you like streaming, okay, this rule is probably not going to apply to you. But if you are brand spanking new, you've never turned on OBS, you have to watch a tutorial on how to set it up. You have to watch one of my tutorials on how to set it up. Go cheap. PNG, very cheap. Again, if you are experienced, yeah, sure, this doesn't apply to you, but at the same time, I still suggest you go free as possible if you even like VTubing. But I do see a great many people regret it and then stop it because it just wasn't them. So that is the picking the model section. One thing I will note though, and I really do want to know, your first model will evolve over time. I've known people to be dragons. I've known people to be dogs. I've known people to be salamanders, cows, clouds, ice creams, bugs. And over time, they changed it to something different. So when you're spending $2, $3, $4, $5 on your first model, I'm gonna, say, heed caution to you because, gosh darn, your opinion on what your models look like or your backstory or your theme is going to change. I've changed dramatically over the 5 years. Not really this particular model, but I went from a laid back, very naughty hoodie to a Sword Art Online hoodie to wearing a suit. Again, I've seen people go from cows to, big boba models. I've seen people literally go from male models to female models. I've seen females go from female models to male models, right? Don't let your first model be the very expensive model. Your design will change. It will evolve. It is going to adapt. It's your mind's going to change 1,000 times. I've spent, with this particular model I have now with the artist, I think it was Taka that introduced me to this particular person. 5-6 hours discussing with them on the suit, the hair, just for them to just completely copy the original model and just slap a suit on, because that's exactly what I chose at the very end. But it's going to change, everyone. Your first model is not going to be your last. Ride out your first model, especially if you dump a lot of money into it. Ride it out as long as you can. You don't have to do what the popular VTubers are doing, where they change outfits every 3 to 6 months. You can't afford it yet. So please just wait, take your time, be patient. That will come when you start making dough. And you are not making dough yet. Okay. So we've covered so far picking a platform, picking your name, going to every platform and registering, going live and testing, budget, setting a budget, VTubing model. The next thing we need to cover is the next test. I lost it. I don't know how to get that back. Okay. The next test. The next test is, again, testing your settings with the model. You have your mic at this particular point, your microphone should be a lot better than it was. And I want you guys to really prioritize audio. There is nothing worse than listening to a streamer with really bad audio. If your mic is crackling, OBS has a crap ton of free plugins that can help that. It has noise gate, it has peak control, has bass tuning, and there's other free programs online that you could download to help enhance the audio for your microphone. But dumping in 50, 60, 70, 80, $100 into a microphone like a blue snowball, it's, you know, an outdated mic, but actually still a very good and popular mic that you could pick up for 50, 60 bucks, is more than sufficient for your first microphone. I'm not saying that your first mic needs to be $1,000 or $2,000 or a Shure SM50 or whatever that model is. No. Just good enough where if I come to your stream, or your friends or family or whatever come to your stream, that they are just muting it right away in the background and only have it up to support you. You want it so they can actually listen and participate. So again, I want you guys to test your settings, particularly audio at this particular point. Make sure it sounds good. You should really be doing that in the go live testing up here, but do it again when you're down here. But this is where you can also test your model. When I first started out with the VTubing, I was using a program called Luppet. And at that time, there wasn't really any other 3D VTubing programs out there other than Luppet and, you know, a couple of others. But I did realize very quickly Luppet took about 50% of my resources. So I had to adjust my settings. 50% was good for the time, by the way. This was like 6 years ago. I did have to adjust my settings on, I believe I was playing PUBG at the time, and a little bit of Rainbow Six Siege. No, mostly Rainbow Six Siege, a little bit of PUBG. But I did have to lower my settings from high to low, just so I was able to stream with the model and the game. So a model will have an impact on your ability to stream. And don't think you need to have the absolute highest settings when you're streaming. A lot of people, do they care about the game that you're playing when you're first starting out? Yes, absolutely. Do they care about the graphics? Very little. They want to really hang out with you. They want to see the game that they enjoy quite a bit. But as long as you make it a good experience for the viewer, they're going to stick around. So don't feel like you have to have max anything. Keep it low, keep it realistic. The biggest problem and thing I've seen a lot of streamers do is they think they need to stream at 1920 by 1080 right off the bat. And sometimes they think they need to stream a lot higher than that in resolution. You guys can definitely stream at 720p. Right? 720p is, again, more than sufficient. When we go to Twitch, and I don't want to speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody. I'm going to click on this random person. Most of the time, you're watching them in a window like this. Other people will have it in theater mode, where it's a little bit bigger. But again, it's not the full 1920 by 1080 resolution that my monitor is. It's usually in a window like this, or a little bit bigger window like this. I don't know too many people that completely full screen it. It is possible. I don't know. But I know from speaking to others, this is the main viewing experience for a great many. So again, be realistic. And this particular streamer, I don't know what her quality is, but she, 1080 source, but 720. You can go around to the popular streamers, and you'll see with a lot of different ones that, especially in the just chatting, not all of them are streaming in 1080. So take a look around, see, and you'll know that I'm being very truthful with you, that 1080 is not the absolute requirement when you're first starting out. Go with what your computer can handle. And by going with the lower resolution when you're first starting out, does save a lot of resources from OBS. Okay. Okay, perfect. So we've done our next test. Now what I want us to do is the basic setup. This one should actually be up here between the budget and the VTubing model. I do apologize. This one is out of order. But the basic setup, again, should be between budget and VTubing model. Unless you own an iPhone, and I know not a lot of people do. When I first started out, I was strictly Android. Now I have both iPhone. I have a dedicated iPhone for streaming for VTubing. Then I have my regular Android where I use it for everyday life. Not everybody can afford that, obviously, but your first setup should be fairly basic. So if you own an iPhone, you can download apps that are very beneficial for your avatar. If you're sticking to what I'm telling you, going with as cheap as possible, you're not going to have a lot of facial expressions, so you don't have to really worry about too much. But a good webcam is a nice solid start. A Logitech, and I'm not sponsored by them, C920 was the first webcam I used when I first started this YouTube channel. It is a 1080p webcam. I bought it, I want to say 10 years ago, and it records at 30 frames a second, which isn't very much, especially in VTubing nowadays, where you typically at 60 or 120. But when you're first starting out, again, you want to keep that budget very low. Make sure that you enjoy what you're doing. So you can use your webcam. You can use a Droid Cam if you got an Android, and that will turn your Android phone into a webcam that you can stream wirelessly to your computer like you would with an iPhone. You can use your iPhone if you happen to have one. Again, I know not a lot of people do, but if you do have one, you're at a good advantage already. Congratulations. But there's nothing wrong with just using your integrated camera or a basic camera right off Amazon. Again, this particular webcam didn't cost you more than 50, 60 bucks. I bought mine 10 years ago. Whatever you have in your grandma's closet, your mom's drawer, is sufficient enough just to start, especially if it's at 30 frames a second. But the basic idea is use what you got. And this is what you want to use, is what you have. When you start earning income, and that'll be part of a future lesson, we're going to discuss in the future lesson on how to reinvest what you make off YouTube, Twitch back into your stream so you can buy better. I think that's going to be lesson 2 or 3. I'm pretty sure lesson 2 though. But basic. We're going to go basic, everyone, and set it up. And software wise, you know, if you're going to be a PNG tuber, I'm going to suggest VideoTube Mini. It's a fantastic program. If you're going to be a live 2D'er, obviously I'm going to suggest VTube Studio because it's one of the ones that have lower resources. And for 3D, I've been testing out actually a lot of different ones. My favorite one still is VC Face. I got a soft spot in my heart for VC Face, but people have told me Motion Capture Studio has been helpful to them. Wataru, I can't say that name for the life of me, has upgraded significantly since I did a review on it almost 5-6 years ago. So there is loads and loads of apps on Steam. In fact, I would use Steam and try out the free programs. Free is key. Free is absolutely what we want to stick with when we're first starting out. Use the free programs that exist already and see which ones work for you and your model that you're using. But these are the ones I'm going to highly suggest right off the bat. Okay. So now that we've talked about testing, models, budgets, going live, platforms, picking platforms, names, all that stuff. Now lo and behold, we are ready for the last and final phase of the starting. And now this is where we're going to go live. For real. This is not the testing, no tests. This is when we are going to start getting our boots on the ground. We're going to tie up our boots. We're going to put on our uniform. We're going to turn on the stream, and we're going to start doing this for realsies. So what we're going to do is we're going to go live. But it's not going to be that simple. The common mistakes I see a lot of brand new VTubers making out there is how often they go live. Now, again, this is going to be a point of contention with many of my VTubing colleagues online. They're not going to agree with me, especially the ones on Twitter, because they're nuts. Sorry to call you guys out, but you are. This is where I'm going to highly suggest that you guys really listen to me. Because again, I've talked to thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands in YouTube comments. I've talked to hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds in Discord and voice calls over the years. Please listen to me on this one. Don't go live more than when you're first starting out 3 times a week. During those 3 times a week, I wouldn't be live more than 4 hours per session. Okay. This should be a 12-hour max week when you first start out. Why do I say this? I'm glad you asked, little Timmy. The bane of every new VTuber's existence out there, truthfully, is they get crazy excited. They go ham and hard. And they burn themselves out when they barely even started their streaming career. I've seen streamers stream 5 to 7 days a week, 8 hours a day when they start. And then after weeks or months, they're tired, they're burnt out, they're on Twitter, they're in my Discord, they're in my DMs, they're in other people's DMs, they're all over the world asking people, how do I combat burnout? Why am I burnt out? I just started. Should I be burnt out? No, you shouldn't be burnt out. You need to get used to it. To be honest, I think this should be halved when you first start out. This should be halved when you first start out. This should be halved when you first start out. This is the absolute maximum I would suggest to anyone. Move my head out of the way. Because VTubing, streaming is draining, especially when you don't have the voice, right? I've talked to you guys many times in the past about the streaming voice. It's a skill you got to build up over time. Your lungs, your throat, your vocal cords need to get practice, need to build up that muscle inside. So gradually over time, they get stronger so you can do those long live streams like Ludwig, Asmongold, Hassan, whomever, right? Iron Mouse or Scarlet Unagi or whomever, right? Whoever is your content creator that you love to watch and enjoy. Start low, right? You're going to outlast almost everyone. And I honestly mean this. Almost everyone. If you start like this. I want to say, and I'd like to throw percentages out there. And this is something I can personally speak for because these are things that I've tracked and seen over the years. But over 95% of the VTubers that start are gone within a year. They become VTweeters, or they just don't VTube at all, and they just hang out in Discords. Right? It's a huge percentage, and there's a lot of different various reasons for it. But one of the top ones is because they just burn themselves out right away. So go live 3 times a week, 4 hours per session, 12 hours max a week. Like I said, I would half this. I really would half this. I would not keep going much longer than this. Okay. And then enjoy yourself. What you can do to help get viewers, again, join Discords. Or the best thing that you can do. Everybody and their mom, dog, goldfish house loves to do is they love to jump onto the big popular games right off the bat. When you guys are starting off, try to avoid the very popular games. Example, Dead by Daylight, we go to high to low. It's going to take anybody a while to get down to the low unless they sort it from low to high, which not a lot of people do. A lot of people are going to go low to high to find a VTuber that they see or that they like. And there we go. We got a PNG tuber. But there isn't a whole lot of VTubers, actually. I am shocked on how very little VTubers I see in the low area. We got to scroll for a little while by the looks of it. But see how much scrolling I'm doing? And we're still only at the 2 viewers. Now we're at the 3. I have to scroll quite a bit. And now we're starting to see VTubers in the 2 to 3 realm, right? A little bit of 5s mixing in. We got some more 3s, right? It's nice and great to pick the popular games that everybody's doing. But consider, just please think about it. Consider it. At the very least, consider it. Roll down, start small. Find a game that isn't, that a lot of people aren't playing, that has a small community. Repo. I've heard so much about Repo. If we scroll from high to low, you know, right away, boom, we see VTubers right off the right off the top. And if we scroll, you know, there is competition for sure. We see a lot of VTubers for sure. We see a lot of furries for some reason for sure, which is totally fine. I like furries. Furries are awesome. But it's not that much of a task to scroll down to a decent viewership. It doesn't take long. And again, go through it and see. Take a look. Is there another game that you could be interested in? Dark Souls, Valheim. I don't know what that is. The Last of Us, right? The new season of Last of Us is going to be coming out soon. Detroit Become Human. This is like a huge place in my heart. I love this game. You know, if we click on Detroit Become Human, people love story-based games, and there isn't a lot of competition here. This is a fantastic spot for people to rate each other, to build an audience together, to get new viewers, as in these lower viewership areas. Isn't a lot of competition. If you're on YouTube, you have a huge advantage if you're on YouTube over Twitch, because if we go to the Twitch homepage, Twitch is going to recommend some odd people here and there that you may like watching. But if you go to YouTube, YouTube has this way of recommending live streams to people, especially if it happens to be stuff that you are currently watching. And it shows up right on the homepage. Or if you happen to watch a video, it happens to show up on the right side, right? YouTube is one of those better platforms that promotes people. So for example, we got this video right here that says streamed 2 days ago, Wuthering Waves, right? We got another one here that is another video. But literally this was a live stream that was 2 days ago of Wuthering Waves. You know, 28 people saw it. It's 1.5K subscribers. This could be a good place to start.
As of today in Hong Kong,
So consider it. Really consider it. Lower viewer base games, less competition. But yeah, join some Discords, make some friends, genuine friends. Don't go in Discords and find things of the Going Live channel where you just drop your Going Live message and link, those things do nothing for you. Don't be baited on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays on, oh, drop your link in here and let's grow together. Follow for follow does nothing. Does nothing for the person doing it. Does nothing for anybody that's putting their stuff in there. Follow for follow doesn't work. I know this because I used to do that when I was very, 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 very first starting out, when I was baby senpai. When I was very baby senpai, before I was senpai, when I was Anubis Lives, before when I was Anubis Lives, before Anubis Lives even existed, I was a different username. It doesn't work. I've never seen it. It doesn't do a thing. Having a consistent schedule, that will do something. Going live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever days you are available to do it consistently, those are the days you need to stick with. If there's a time that you can stick to every single time, treat your live stream as if it was a TV show, right? Whether it be Game of Thrones on HBO, I know every day every week on Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Game of Thrones is on. A new episode, I can depend on it. Treat your stream like that. Something that is regular, always going to be on at that date on that time. That's why I pick every Friday, 5 p.m. PST, because people know Friday, 5 p.m. PST, especially when I start coming back and not be away for 2 years for personal reasons. But they know that's my date, that's my time. They know to plan around that. And people have planned around my stream schedule to be here. So they do it for me, they're going to do it for you. They're going to do it for their favorite creators. So find a date, find a time, be consistent. But yeah, like I said, join Discords. Consistency is more important than joining Discords. Make some genuine friends. Go into like-minded streamers. Don't advertise to them that you're a streamer. But if you are someone that plays Detroit Become Human quite a bit, join other Detroit Become Human streams. Be a regular. You know what a lot of people do, and I did this a lot when I was a Rainbow Six Siege streamer. I do this a lot when I'm a VTuber senpai, is I'll click on people's names that are regulars and I'll check out their channels. And I'll sometimes tune into their streams. If I vibe with them, I will host them. I will raid them. We've done cross-platform raids from YouTube to Twitch so many endless times. We've raided Hiba, we've raided Nini, we've raided Srirachi, we've rated so many different people over the years, cross-platform and also on YouTube here and there, because I've engaged with their content. I liked what they're doing, and they are good streamers. They are great streamers, all three of them. Starlight is another great streamer. If Starlight was streaming at the same time, I'd be rating them. But there's loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of great streamers that are playing your game. Maybe they're not playing your game. Maybe they're playing a different game. But go hang out in these chats, see what they're doing, see how they're streaming. Right? There is a massive difference, and this is me of a little bit of tangent right now. But you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do homework. No, lines down. Homework for the chat. Homework for the class. Homework for the viewer that's watching this VOD right now. This is your homework for the night. And I hit a button that deletes things, and I don't remember which one. Wait, I'll figure that out. Your homework. This is what you guys are going to do. Watch streamers that are around 50 concurrent viewers to 75 concurrent viewers. You know what? You can go to 100 max concurrent viewers. Watch how they stream. Watch how they interact and engage with their chat. What they're doing. See how often they're responding to their chat, looking at their chat. When you're first starting out, you want to be talking to your chat like they're your best friend. You want to make sure you're always replying to them. But as you grow bigger and bigger and bigger, of course, that's not going to be as prominent. But see how much they're talking. The one thing that I've seen a lot, not just one thing, many things, but it's one of my big pet peeves that I've seen a lot of new VTubers do, is they're streaming, they're playing their game, or they're watching their videos, and they're like this. Oh yeah, chap, that was dope. Oh my god, did you guys see that? Oh my god, that was so funny. Lol. Don't do that. A lot of you new people do that. Watch these different streamers, see what they're doing, see how they're interacting. Even if you have no one watching you, you should be a 7-Eleven. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by you should be a 7-Eleven? Your mouth never closes. Your mouth is always going. Your mouth is always open and moving. Things are coming out. Your mouth needs to be a 7-Eleven. Yes, this is a Rush Hour reference, but it does. You got to talk about what you're doing in game, what you did that day, how you're feeling. Don't trauma dump your new viewers, but like, talk, say something, anything. Talk about anything. Does pineapple belong on pizza? Do bugs feel pain? How do you cook a ham? You put ketchup on craft dinner, or what would you guys call in the States, macaroni and cheese, right? Do you put ketchup on your pizza? That's a sin. Don't you dare do that. Do you break spaghetti to fit in the pan? Don't you dare do that. I will slap you. As an Italian, that's offensive. But, you know, ask these questions, make these interactions, make it fun. Do things. Okay? And again, watch them. They don't stop talking. Even if there's people not talking. I've seen people with 75 concurrent viewers without chat saying a bloody word. I've seen big boba flesh tubers with 100 concurrent viewers. Literally 100 concurrent viewers that are still talking even though their chat's not talking. Eating spaghetti with bamboo chopsticks, that's going to trigger me. But like, keep talking. That's what makes people come back. And no matter what kind of content you make, whether you're a big boba streamer, a VTuber, a person that cooks, a voice that is communicating is key. Maybe have a little bit of music in the background because it will help a lot. But truthfully, talk about anything and everything. This is practice for you. But yeah. Anyway, your homework. Go watch some streamers. Take notes. I want 5 top things you've noticed from these streamers and how they interact with their audience. Okay? 5 top things. And even if you don't tune into these streams and you're watching this VOD, feel free to join my Discord, send me a message. Even if it's 2, 5, 10 years from now, send me those 5 things in a direct message, in a DM, and tell me what you've learned. And everybody watching right now, message me. Tell me what you've learned. Because if you guys want to be in a streamer university with Ludwig, streamer university for VTubers with me, or anybody, Ilara is another popular educator, or I think they're an educator. Whomever, whatever courses you take for VTubing, for YouTubing, for streaming, blah, 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 blah. There was, I can't remember her name. She used to do them all the time, streaming courses. You got to be able to take notes, to examine what other people are doing and apply the yoink and twist method that Ludwig coined, last year. It wasn't Mary Yume, it was someone else. I can't remember. She was a flesh tuber. I can't remember her name. But either way, you got to be able to look, write down, and analyze what these things and how can you apply these to your own streams. Okay. That is it for the VTubing Academy Course 1, Lesson 1, the starting phase. If you guys happen to be watching this as a YouTube video, evergreen content, hello. Other than that, the video is going to end now. And I will continue streaming for the next 45 minutes or so to answer your guys' questions if you happen to have any. So let's do question. Question time. You know the question I have for you guys? Why is it when I'm pressing space, it deletes things? What did I hit? It's not scroll lock. It's not num lock. Is it insert? It was insert. Okay. I will move the VTubing Academy banner down here somewhere so you guys can see chat. But yeah, is there any questions you guys want to ask? And what I'll do is I'll play some lo-fi and take a very big chug of prune juice, or not prune juice, cranberry juice. How many 3D printers do I have? I have 3 3D printers. I have 1 resin and 2 FDMs. And I've been 3D printing for as long as I've been VTubing, so like 6 years. Quite a long time. Quite a long time. I posted a few analytics screenshots in VTubing discussion. Social media confuses me greatly. I'm curious about what you think about it. So let me loop back to your look at our lights analytics. I spelled analytics wrong. There's a Y. No. Let me loop back to that in a second here, because that is a loaded question I can definitely answer. Reasons to why people should/shouldn't stream. Good. This is all relative per person. Okay, I'm gonna open up with you guys a bit about me, just a wee bit here. I am extremely introverted. I don't like being around people too much, person. Even online, to be very truthful. I do find difficulty interacting with groups of people as well. So, as you guys probably figured out, Senpai probably has a girlfriend. I do. My girlfriend is from a Filipino ethnicity, and their family and friend group is quite massive. And I do currently struggle with that. It is a fairly new relationship, but still, I do struggle with that. Streaming, believe it or not, can help with social interaction because viewers aren't really there. Like, for example, I see you guys talking, and we've had live streams where we had several hundred people, and we had chat fly by. We had several hundred people talking in chat at a time. I was perfectly fine. It wasn't a problem. Streaming is great practice to get out of your shell. So that's one of those reasons why I think you should stream. Especially if you're someone like me that is extremely introverted. It does help. If I didn't do streaming, I don't think I would be able to do this particular relationship if I didn't have you guys help me over the years and years and years. Another reason to stream, in my personal opinion, again, it's not just meeting new people, but it's good for teaching believe it or not, multitasking. So if you're someone that really, really, really struggles with multitasking, believe me when I say this, your multitasking skills are going to be put to the test. Not only that, it's going to teach you on how to multitask, how to handle a chat, how to talk to people while doing something else. Again, I think I blame this more towards the introverted me, but in the past, if I was playing a video game, I was hyper focused. Before streaming, I was very hyper focused. I could only really focus on the one thing. When I first started out streaming, before I was a Noobus Lives, thankfully I had people like Jesus Man, Lewis Lutz, which is still around, and a whole bunch of others help me get used to VTubing, or not VTubing, streaming, right? Helping me get used to the multitasking by talking to me in the chat while I was playing games. So that's why you think you shouldn't. Why you shouldn't stream is if you are someone. I'm going to pause for a second here because this is very important. You shouldn't stream if you are someone that, and again, this is going to be very controversial when I say this. People are going to dislike me, but that's totally fine. Is if you have a lot of mental issues. A lot of people, well, not a lot, there are people out there that I've seen in the Twitter sphere, on Twitch, and so on and so forth, use their live streams as a dumping ground, making their problems, their issues, everybody else's. From time to time, we're human. We experience problems and challenges in life. But making your live stream that consistently day in and day out isn't the best thing to do. So if you are someone that suffers from a lot of mental anguish and problems, consider getting professional help first, or using this as a little bit of an outlet, but try to be mindful on how much you're throwing out there. Yeah. Emotional damage, emotional baggage, stuff like that. Especially the people that are always trauma dumping. I see them on Twitter endlessly complaining that Twitch is broken, that people hate them, that people are attacking them, and blah, 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 blah. You got to fix yourself before you can either help others, because a lot of people like to help others, or properly engage with others. Again, that's very controversial, but it's very, very true. A lot of people turn to VTubing, especially live streaming, or different fandoms, because of different mental issues, and it needs to be diagnosed and helped and treated. I've been through things as well in the past. Everybody has it. We're human. We aren't perfect. No, there's no one perfect. Look at your top streamers out there. They may portray that they're perfect, that there's no problems with them, that there's no issues. We all have them. We are not issue free. Just the people at the top are very good at hiding them. That's all. So if you got problems, especially if, I don't want to get into that, but if you have problems, seek help. Okay. So that's my reason for shouldn't. Another reason, if you're busy, if you got 3 kids and you're a single parent, be careful with that, because streaming can take a lot of your time. If you are someone that has, if you're someone that gets lost in things a lot, those kind of things, careful. That's all. I want to take a look at Starlight's analytics real quick for the thing that they posted and give some feedback. So Starlight posted it in VTubing discussion. Okay, so Starlight, what platform was this posted on? This looks like YouTube. Interesting. I think I might see the issue. I might know the issue. I think I know the issue. Fine. For example, the one that you have where I said to everyone then circled was posted on July 23rd at 10:48 p.m. Yes, there's other videos that you posted later at 11:30, but I want you, Starlight, to look at your YouTube analytics. There's that one section that YouTube has about time your viewers are online the most. I think it's something like that. Post at the height of that time. So for example, if it says 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. they are on, posted at 11. I get that. I get your question, but what if viewership is worldwide? On the YouTube, this is only the YouTube that I'm talking about right now. YouTube analytics, they will take that into account for everyone. Okay? Everyone. Now, I want you to think back to one of my earlier lessons when I was baby senpai. When are people on the most? Right? So you're posting at 11 p.m., 10:30 p.m., right? And what I'm about to talk about is mostly for TikTok, for Instagram, so on and so forth. So hear me out on this one. YouTube-wise, look at your analytics, post during those times. For Instagram, TikTok, etc., these are the times I want you to experiment with me and post. Hello, Srashi. How you doing? Okay, I want you, class, take notes. Take some notes. Okay. What's happening at 8 a.m. PST? I'm doing good, Srashi. Thanks for asking. 8 a.m. PST, what are we doing? We're waking up. Unless you or me, I'm up at 5:30 for work. I can be at work for 6:30. I hate it, but that is work. But at 8 a.m. PST, the majority of the West Coast is waking up. Okay. So we handle the West Coast. We know what the West Coast is doing. Okay. East Coast. Let's jump across the rest of the continent. We're going from west to east. What time is it? 3 hours after that. So 9, 10, 11 a.m. What is happening at 11 a.m.? Eastern Standard Time, which is the exact same time as Pacific Standard Time. Flash working. Beautiful. Let's jump to England. Oh, let me Google it real quick with Firefox. Google. If it is 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, what time is it in the UK? 3 to 4 p.m. Oh my God. What are they doing at 3 to 4 p.m.? So, London, England. London, England is 4 p.m. I kind of screwed this up already. 4 p.m. What are they doing? Getting off work. Okay, wait. Let's go further east, more east. What time is it in Germany? $5 p.m. Oh, we add another hour onto that. So 5 p.m. Look, p.m. in Germany. A lot of the times, they're off work. Okay. Wait, Senpai might be on fire here. But Senpai, calm down. What about Asia? What time is it in Asia? Let's pick a place in Asia. Let's pick the Holy Land. Let's pick the Holy Land for all weebs, Japan. What time is it in Japan? 12 a.m. 12 a.m. Now, 12 a.m. is a bad time, right? 12 a.m. is a horrible time. Golly gee willikers, Batman, I don't know what to do. Well, glad you mentioned something, little Timmy. A lot of your audience isn't coming from Asia. So, Starlight, this is your homework. Look at your analytics. A lot of people aren't from Asia. A lot of people are either from Europe or North America. You want to mainly service these people. There are going to be a lot of people, believe it or not, especially in Japan, ask me how I know, that are up at 12 a.m. watching streamers. Oh, that being said, I would post at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do it at that time. That'll give someone like me a chance to see your content when I first wake up, start my workday, or even watch it while at work. London, Germany allows them to watch it while they're coming off work, driving home. Hopefully they're not watching you while they're driving. That's a different problem altogether. But these are the times you want to post. 8 a.m. PST, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I believe you're somewhere in between these two or one of these two. Do that time. Do that. Do not post 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time because everybody's asleep. Or, like 11 p.m. Let's find out. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is what time in Germany? It is 5 a.m. There's no one awake. A lot of people are still asleep. But 0 views for any content seems like a odd, like a bug. Yeah, absolutely. So take it down, repost it. Right? Again, looking at your post, the time isn't the good time to post. So feel free to delete it, re-upload it, and then post it at a decent time a day or two later. But these are the times you'd be posting on Insta, TikTok, etc. And it will probably work for YouTube as well. But the YouTube analytics, if you guys look at your dashboards, if you are over 1,000 subscribers, will literally tell you the best times your viewers are online. But yeah, delete, re-upload at the ideal time. See what happens. Another thing I want to look at. Are you using any hashtags in these posts? Because hashtags can help or be a detriment, depending on the hashtag. So look at the hashtags of the videos that are working. And then compare it to the hashtags that are on that video that didn't do very well. And maybe copy the same hashtags and try them again. But truthfully, I think your main issue was the time. I really think your main issue was time. The other one that got promoted a little bit more at 11:30 p.m., I think it just happened that YouTube just pushed it, or that platform that you were using happened to push it a bit. So, but yeah, just reposting it at a different time. Experiment, see what happens, and then let me know, and then we can talk about it in DMs or in voice chat one day. Oh my gosh, it is an oven in this place. AC is still blasting. Oof, it is hot. So hot. Any other questions about VTubing Academy, all that fun stuff that you guys may have? Why can't I hear them? There we go. Headset turned off. I forgot to hit the record button. I just noticed that. I forgot to hit record. Now I gotta download the YouTube pod. Damn it. I completely forgot to hit the record. I cannot believe that. Well... Damn it. What am I gonna do? Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'm a little annoyed at myself now. What would be the difference? Recording the whole video of versus using the YouTube VOD. If you record the video, you can upload it with a higher quality because YouTube does a different compression when you download it and then re-upload. So yeah, because that's what I typically do. I'll download, I'll cut out some snippets and then re-upload it as a separate video. Doing it like that kind of screws the quality a bit, but it's for the first lesson, not that big of a deal. I'll fix it for the future ones, but yeah, it'll just be lower quality on the first video. It is what it is. It's a learning lesson. Things happen. Senpai, when the VR chat glasses is going to start? Honestly, Noctillion, I'm not too sure. I do have my own place now, so I have a great area to do VR chat now. I think I just got to download VR chat onto the headset and just start playing. But I gotta find a tutorial. Or actually, no, I think my model is uploaded onto VR chat already. One of my old 3D models. Ooh. Oh, one of my old 3D models. I'm hoping it's the one with my SAO shirt. Because if it's not, it's the white hoodie. Yeah, I'll have to see. But yeah, Noctillion, if you can find 10 people that would be interested in a VR chat class, then we can do that. Or maybe I'll put a calling card out or something. The one thing I actually want to do with people, and this is something I actually never thought I would consider until someone actually brought it up on Twitch, but I would like to do a podcast. I noticed that YouTube now has a dedicated podcast section for YouTube channels. I'm considering it. I would like to, talk to people like Starlight, Sapphire, Rayless, to start, but I wouldn't mind doing a podcast. I got to get a set designed and maybe drawn up. Not maybe, it would have to be drawn up. But a small podcast would be kind of cool. Where and that's the thing I kind of miss having, Rayless on the stream, or just talking with Sapphire. Oh god, I miss talking to both of them so much, and just chilling with them on stream, and then having like the coolest and best conversations alive. Like, those moments were definitely peak for me. I just absolutely love talking to those people, those 3 people on stream. And I really would like to do it again. School library background. That would be a good idea. I like that idea. School library. The problem is, do we have the librarian come around once in a while and say, shh? What do we should probably throw that in if we're in the library. Can you do PC VR, by the way? Yeah. I would only be doing PC VR. Yeah, absolutely. I don't like I don't like VR chat that's just installed on the VR headset. So no, it would definitely be PC VR through more than likely through Steam. But yeah, as a school library, I do want to get an art room made. So I did have this idea probably, I want to say like 2-3 years ago. Oh, if it's after hours. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't think about that. Yeah. I did have this idea years and years ago where Senpai's Academy, the school, would have other teachers that teach other areas. So, for example, I would be on the Fridays. We would have an art teacher on Wednesdays, for example. We can have a game developer teacher on Mondays, like for example. So that's something I would want to introduce now that I've been streaming a lot more often, especially on Twitch. If you guys haven't known, by the way, I do stream on Twitch every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So feel free to come by and say hi on Twitch. Does the Twitch link actually work? I don't know. Oh no, it does work. Actually, I'm surprised. Oh, and that's where I play games like Satisfactory mostly right now. But you hear me more unhinged, less professional, and a lot more loose. Every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Well, yeah, Sapphire could be an art teacher. Starlight, if she wanted to, or whomever, right, would be interested in that particular position. Yeah, there's just so many different things that we can do to help not just VTubers, but the streaming community. And that's the one thing about Senpai's Academy. It's not just geared towards VTubers. I want it to be geared towards everyone. So, yeah, there's going to be obviously videos and whatnot that's going to be strictly geared towards VTubers, but realistically, I want everyone to be able to benefit from them, no matter what the video is. No, it would be live teaching. It would only be live. The VODs, or not the VODs, the evergreen content would be strictly me. Maybe 1 or 2 videos here or there for like teachers to do, maybe some basic art classes, but or at least at first. But I do want to make Senpai's Academy a bit bigger. If this ever goes big, I would want this to be a physical content creator maker space. I wouldn't do like a streaming house or anything like that. I don't think I would ever do that. Having an office building maybe would be kind of cool, but the problem is traveling. Unfortunately, in today's world, traveling between different countries is not as easy as it used to be, especially between Canada and the United States. So it probably wouldn't happen in the near future, maybe later on. But honestly, we can do and accomplish pretty much everything online anyway, remotely. Yeah, the rent in Vancouver, the city that I live in, is absorbently high compared to the rest of the world. I think we rank number 5 in the world for most expensive living. So for me, the dream would be moved to like Texas. I would love to move to Texas. I'd gain like 200 pounds if I moved to Texas. But because God, your guys' briskets and whatnot look crazy delicious, and I have dreams about those already, just from YouTube videos. So yeah, and I'm I'm a guy that has been on a weight loss journey for the last 4 years, and I've lost significant amount of weight. Yeah, definitely want to keep it off. But Texas is one of those things I would probably yeah, probably get very large in. Yeah, I love barbecue. There's this one place that you guys got called Buc-ee's. We are supposedly getting a Buc-ee's here in my city, or well, close to my city. Very close, like less than an hour away. But I really want to experience Buc-ee's looks pretty cool. So yeah. I think Buc-ee's would be the first place I visit if I landed in like Houston or something. I wish TwitchCon was somewhere in that kind of area instead of California all the time. San Diego's nice and all. San Diego is a fantastic city. Very nice, beautiful city, but I wish they would change it up once in a while. You know, they did Vegas one year, but yeah, they got to do Texas or something. They got to change it just a little bit. Yeah, it's always California. I hate that it's always California. Buc-ee's in Florida? We never went inside. Oh. I think they're everywhere in the States. I don't know. There's no Buc-ee's in your state. Oh, okay. Every big con, yeah, Comic-Con, blah, 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 yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention on my credentials that I was working with the local college for their VTubing as well. It's funny because Starlight mentioned that to me a couple of years ago that, oh yeah, there's a college near you, Senpai, that does VTubing. I actually saw them at the last Anime Revo, and I was standing there smiling. I'm like, Starlight talked about this. I should go and introduce myself, say hi. I went and introduced myself, say hi. I'm like, yeah, that's what I do for a living. If you need help, let me know. And they've reached out and whatnot, so been talking to them here and there. If you ever go to Texas, go to Dallas. I have a friend that lives in, I don't think Dallas. I can't remember where she lives. Where does she live? I'm trying to think now. Garland, Texas. Yeah, Garland. Yeah, Garland, Texas, I believe it is. So I got to go there first and say hi and do some visits. But yeah, maybe I'll check out Dallas. All right, chat. I'm going to call it there for today's stream. I'm going to try to cool down. It is still 30 degrees in the apartment. 32 degrees now in the apartment. It is so hot here. It is crazy hot. So, and if I open the balcony door, it's hotter outside. It's hotter outside if I open the balcony door. But I'm gonna go park myself in front of my AC and not move for probably 20 minutes. Cool myself off a little bit. But thank you everyone for coming by. I do really appreciate it. Either next Friday or the Friday after, we will do the second lesson. I'm aiming for the next Friday. We'll see for sure. I'll let you guys know by Monday. If you're interested, make sure you guys, when you see it posted in the Discord, you set your date and time and your clocks for that stream. Lesson 2 is going to be very fun, sort of. And don't forget, I do stream on Twitch every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please come on by, say hi, especially on Twitch. I still answer a lot of educational questions. So if you guys want me to do a breakdown on something, please feel free to ask me then as well. Again, I mostly play Satisfactory at this particular current time, but willing to change to different games if requested. So come on by, say hi. If not, I will see you guys next Friday. probably. I love you all, miss you all. Please join the Discord, and well, I'll catch you all in the next one. Goodbye, everybody.